Most Christians believe in the Holy Spirit, but very few have actually let Him take full control. And here's how you can tell the difference. When something goes wrong, who takes over first? Your anxiety, your anger, your need to fix it, or something deeper, something quieter, something that somehow knows what to do when you don't? Here's the honest truth. Most of us believe in the Holy Spirit the way we believe in a fire extinguisher. It's there, we're glad it exists, we'd use it if things got really bad, but day to day we handle it ourselves, and then we wonder why we feel so tired, why the peace never quite sticks, why we keep running on empty no matter how hard we try. Today we're going to talk about what actually changes, not in theory, not in theology, but in your real everyday life, when you stop managing everything yourself and finally let the Holy Spirit take full control. And one of these changes is probably happening in your life already. You just didn't realize the Holy Spirit was behind it. Here's what letting the Holy Spirit take control is not. It's not losing your personality. It's not becoming passive. It's not floating through life waiting for God to do everything while you do nothing. I've heard people say, I'm just waiting on the Holy Spirit, and sometimes that's genuine surrender. But sometimes, if we're honest, it's just fear dressed up in spiritual language. The Holy Spirit doesn't replace your will. He transforms it. Ezekiel 36:26-27. I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit in you and move you to follow my decrees. Notice, move you, not drag you, not control you like a puppet. Move you. The Holy Spirit doesn't take over like a takeover. He takes over like a river takes over dry ground. Things start growing that couldn't grow before. So what does that actually look like? When the Holy Spirit has full control, and not just Sunday morning control, not just crisis control, but real, daily, ordinary Tuesday morning control. Here are 5 things that happen. Number 1, your reactions start changing before you even think about it. This was the first thing I noticed. Not a dramatic spiritual experience, not a vision, just this. Someone said something that would normally set me off, and instead of the usual reaction, there was a pause. Not a fake pause, not a gritted teeth pause, just space. And in that space, something different came out. That's the Holy Spirit. Not performing patience, actually having it. Galatians 5:22-23 calls it the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Notice it says fruit, not achievement, not discipline. Fruit, you don't force fruit. You stay connected to the vine, and it grows. John 15:5. Jesus says, I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit. When the Holy Spirit takes full control, the fruit starts showing up in the places where you used to just show up empty. Number 2, you start making decisions differently. Think about the disciples before and after Pentecost. Before, Peter denied Jesus 3 times, ran, hid, feared for his life. After, Acts 2, same Peter, standing in front of thousands, speaking with such clarity and power that 3,000 people gave their lives to God in one day. What changed? Not his personality, not his background, not his education. Acts 1:8, but you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you. Power. Not information, not confidence tricks, not a better morning routine. Power. When the Holy Spirit takes full control, your decision-making changes. Not because you suddenly have all the answers, but because you're no longer making decisions alone. There's a guidance that shows up, a check in your spirit when something's off. Peace that confirms when something's right. Not always loud, often just a quiet knowing. The Holy Spirit usually whispers, which is why you only hear him when you stop drowning him out. But it's there, and it's more reliable than any strategy you've ever built on your own. Here's what I want you to sit with. We're only at point 2, and already we're not talking about miracles. We're talking about Tuesday. Your reactions on Tuesday, your decisions on Tuesday. That's where the Holy Spirit wants full control. Not just the big moments, the ordinary ones. Number 3, you stop feeling like you're carrying everything alone. There are seasons of life when the weight is almost physical. You wake up and it's already there. The situation that hasn't resolved, the relationship that's still broken, the prayer that still hasn't been answered, and you carry it through the day, and you carry it to bed, and you wake up carrying it again. That kind of weight was never meant for one person. Romans 8:26. In the same way, the Spirit helps us in our weakness. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us through wordless groans. wordless groans. There are things too heavy for words, too complex for sentences, too painful to even form into a prayer, and the Holy Spirit takes those, the ones you can't even articulate, and brings them before God. You are not carrying this alone. You never were. But when you let the Holy Spirit take full control, you start to feel it. Not just believe it, feel it. The load doesn't disappear, but the hands holding it change. The burden may stay the same, but the shoulders carrying it no longer belong to you alone. And that changes everything about how you walk through the day. I want to stop here for a second, because I know some of you are thinking, this sounds great, but I don't even know how to let the Holy Spirit take control. I don't know what that looks like practically. I hear that, and I want to be honest with you. It's not a formula, it's not a 5-step technique. It usually starts with one honest moment. God, I've been running this on my own, and I'm tired. I don't want to do that anymore. That's it. That's the opening. And the Holy Spirit, who has been there the whole time, walks through it. Number 4, your prayer life stops feeling like a performance. Maybe prayer feels hard because you've been trying to impress God instead of meet with Him. That's a big difference. Impressing God looks like finding the right words, saying things the right way, sounding spiritual enough. Meeting with God looks like showing up, honestly, quietly, even when you have nothing to say. Before I understood what it meant to let the Holy Spirit lead, prayer felt like a task, something I should do, something I was supposed to be better at. I'd sit down to pray, and within 3 minutes, my mind was somewhere else entirely, and I'd feel guilty, and try harder and feel guilty again. Here's what changed. When I stopped trying to manufacture the right words and started just showing up honestly, something shifted. Jude 1:20 says, "But you, dear friends, build yourselves up in your most holy faith and pray in the Holy Spirit." Pray in the Holy Spirit, not for the Holy Spirit to show up, not about spiritual things. In, meaning inside the flow of what He's already doing. When you let the Holy Spirit take full control of your prayer, you stop performing and start connecting. Hannah understood this. 1 Samuel 1. She was in such pain she couldn't even speak out loud. She just moved her lips. And God heard it as one of the most powerful prayers in the Bible, because the Holy Spirit knows what's underneath the silence. Number 5, you start living with a purpose that doesn't depend on your circumstances. This is the one that takes the longest to develop, and the one that changes the most. When the Holy Spirit takes full control, your sense of purpose stops being tied to how things are going. Before, a good day felt meaningful, a hard day felt pointless, but something shifts. Paul, writing from prison, says in Philippians 1:21, "For to me to live is Christ, and to die is gain." Not, "For to me to live is having a good season." Not, "To live is having the answer I've been praying for." To live is Christ. The Holy Spirit produces a kind of orientation that doesn't require external validation to function. You wake up and the purpose is already there. Not because everything is good, because He is good, and He's in you. And that is enough to get up and move. Saul became Paul not because his circumstances improved. He became Paul because the Holy Spirit completely reoriented everything he thought life was for. That's available to you, not someday, right now. Here's the reversal. We've been asking the wrong question. The question most of us ask is, how do I get more of the Holy Spirit? But that's not the right question. 1 Corinthians 6:19, "Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have received from God?" The Holy Spirit is already in you. The question is never, how do I get more? The question is, how much of me am I giving to Him? You don't pursue the Holy Spirit like something you haven't found yet. You surrender to Him like someone you've been keeping in the other room. Full control doesn't mean you disappear. It means the best version of you finally shows up. The patient one, the peaceful one, the faithful one, the one who trusts God when everything else feels uncertain. That's not self-improvement. That's the Holy Spirit doing what He's been waiting to do the whole time. Let Him. If you're ready to stop managing everything yourself, drop takeover in the comments. That's your prayer. That's your invitation. And I'll be reading every single one. If you want to understand more about how the Holy Spirit works in your everyday life, watch this next.